The value ladder in dating is such an interesting thing. I mean, I always find how to connect business and fucking dating somehow. I don't know how I do it, but I do it, right? So the value ladder is this term. It's not really from this book, but it is present in this book, and it's a huge part of this book. The value ladder is from this book called Dot-Com Secrets by Russell Brunson, which I've been reading, and it is kind of a ladder. Think about like the different tiers, right? Like you have three different tiers, so you have something to like you know to draw them in, and it's like each tier is more expensive, right? But you get more valuable out of each tier, right? So how does that relate to dating, right? And it is a very interesting way to look at things. And I was like, yeah, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. And hey, maybe I should write a fucking book. Um, but tier one is looks, right? Everybody can look good, so like it's why it's tier one. The entry is not really that high. Um, and then tier two is behavior. We're gonna go through each tier, by the way, like each in depth. Is like behavior and frame. So like how you hold yourself and then how you behave. And then tier three, this is a big one, is escalation. Tier four is investment and commitment in a relationship, right? Um, so let's go over tier one, right? Looks. It's basically like your first impression, right? The physical attraction, how you groom yourself, your physique, you know, it determines whether someone pays attention at all. Because I can tell you right now, from a guy who used to be below a 5 out of 10, that like girls don't even pay attention if you're like a four or you know anything below five. Like they don't even you're not even like human to them, right? So without passing this, like it doesn't fucking like I would say like you can still do stuff if you're not like the best looking guy, but like it's definitely a huge requirement. I'd say for the most part, it's very important. And if you don't have the first two, then you're basically invisible and you don't even exist to girls. So, um, yeah, I'd say looks huge, huge, but it's like the entry tier. Like anybody can look, pretty much anybody can get that tier one, off the checklist, right? Behavior and frame. This one is actually like kind of hard. Like behavior is really, really difficult for a lot of people, and including me, it was. And it is the confidence versus neediness. It's being desperate versus being fulfilled and abundant, right? And it's seeking validation versus having validation, right? Or like not needing it at all. And it's also your social presence, where you are in the social hierarchy, whether you seem grounded or like just you just chasing approval, and it converts that initial interest into actual attraction, because you can look at somebody, right, and be like, oh yeah, they look good, right, but that's just the hollow shell of them. That's not really like their personality and how they act, because someone could look great but they could be a fucking asshole or a serial killer, right? And that changes your whole perspective on them regardless of how they look, right? So it's important that you have both of these first two tiers, or at least the second one, because you're just fucking like nothing without those two for sure. I'd say tier two is definitely harder to build, because tier one is just fucking go to the gym, and that's like super low effort, right? And tier two is more like put yourself in uncomfortable situations and talk to people that you maybe don't want to talk to because they're strangers, and that's really hard to do, especially at first. Um, Tier three, escalation. This one's huge. Most people don't even know how to fucking do this. It's flirting instead of being like friendly. It's how you turn the conversation from sorry, how you turn the conversation from a friendly interaction to a flirty interaction, right? And it's actually very difficult to. It's simple to do, but most guys really struggle with it, right? And it's creating tension. I'd say mostly that's how you do it. it's like I would say this is where most guys are gonna stop. They're probably not gonna get to tier three, right? This is honestly like incredibly valuable if you can do this. Like tier three, hugely valuable, right? And like I said, the tiers get more valuable as you know, and they get harder to get to because the entry is higher, but they get more valuable as you go on, which is exactly how a value ladder works. And basically, I'd say this one is like the perfect sweet spot. If you're gonna get here, that's fine. You can stay at tier three, but tier four is definitely better. Um, but like it's leading interactions instead of just like going with the flow. Like that's not like be intentional about it. Don't be like weird about it. But it's huge, huge skill. Like most guys struggle with. So just take this one simple as flirting instead of friendly small talk, right? And then you have tier four, right? This one is where it gets interesting. Let me just scroll down here. Tier four is the outcome or like, the investment, which is obviously the relationship, right? And this is where, again, even if you get to past tier three, like you're probably not going to get to tier four because this is where most guys absolutely struggle. It's more about consistency, right? It's more about mutual effort, and that's kind of where like it struggles is because guys they have the tier three and then they lose it once they get in a relationship because they become like a fucking submissive little bitch, right? And the polarization doesn't exist, right? Because without tier three, you can't have polarization. And so the stability of the relationship just dies because there's no polarization, and that's what keeps you two interested in each other. So tier four is definitely the hardest, but like tier three, ooh, yeah, like it's a lot of practice, a lot of time put in to get tier three. Not that the other two aren't hard to get to, but I'm just saying like tier three's rough, right? And I would say looks gets you attention, behavior keeps attention, escalation converts attention into romance, and then commitment is like the end result, but it's not really like the starting goal, if that makes sense. And that is kind of the entire structure of the dating ladder, or sorry, the value ladder in dating from .com Secrets by Russell Brunson. I really hope that you thought this was interesting, that I was able to connect dating to business once again. I find it really interesting that those two actually have so many parallels that's kind of shocking. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Do makes you stronger now, makes you feel good. See you, man.